The air, thick with the scent of pine and damp earth only moments ago, now tastes of copper. It clings to the back of the throat. A mountain has fallen, not of rock, but of fresh and matted,
they collapse
glossed
on
hair.
the grassy bank.
The Mammatachus meridinus, the great southern mammoth, lies on its side, a new hill on the landscape of this ancient turf. Its last breath still seems to hang in the cold air, a ghost of steam against the bruised twilight sky. Around it, the clan moves, a flurry of urgent, focused activity. They are small against the colossal beast, these architects of its demise. Their compact, powerful bodies glistening with sweat and blood. This is the culmination of a generation of observation, of passed down knowledge, of a desperate, coordinated gamble that has paid off. But victory in this world is never an endpoint. It is merely the opening of a new, more complicated problem. The problem is life itself. The mammoth is life for months to come, a fortress against the lean, killing hunger of the approaching winter. But the agents of decay are already at work. The sun, a fleeting visitor in the autumn sky, warms the hide, and with it, the unseen world of microbes begins its relentless feast. This smell, a beacon of triumph to the clan, is also a summons. It drifts on the wind, a promise carried for miles to things that wait in the shadows, things with teeth made for splintering bone. The elder, a female whose face is a map of seasons past, watches not the butchering, but the sky. She sees the spiraling dot of a vulture. Soon there will be more. The law is simple. What dies must be eaten, and quickly. Her gaze lowers from the sky to the frantic work, sharp-edged flakes of stone. The simple but deadly currency of their old iron technology are wielded with practiced skill. They are not elegant tools, but they are effective. Stone strikes stone, a percussive rhythm against the wet tearing of hide in the deep, dull chop into muscle. It is a communal effort, a perfect expression of hominid history. The strongest males use their weight to peel back sheets of skin thick as a man's hand. Females, with deft, precise cuts, sever great hunks of reed meat. Even the young have their role, screaming and throwing rocks to drive off the boldest of the birds. They work as a single organism, driven by a shared, unspoken imperative, but the sheer scale of their prize is overwhelming. They gorge themselves. True, their bellies tied for the first time in weeks, but they have carved away less than a fraction of the beast. The rest of it lies there, a treasure slowly turning to poison. This is the great irony of their existence before humans had mastered the world, a success so large it threatens to become a catastrophic failure. The elder looks down again, this time at the ground beneath her feet. The earth here, on the north-facing slope of the ridge, is colder. It holds the morning frost long after the sun has risen. An idea, formless and profound, begins to stir. An idea born of foresight. She looks at the mountain of meat, then back at the cold, dark soil. The elder does not have words for her vision. She has only gestures, and a lifetime of earned trust. She walks to the cold patch of earth, the place where the shadows linger longest. She points to the mountain of mammoth flesh, then stabs a sharpened digging stick into the hard soil. A grunt. I looked at books, no argument. The clan understands the gesture, if not the grand design. They understand work. They understand her. The digging begins. It is a grueling, seemingly nonsensical task. The ground is a stubborn mesh of roots and permafrost, yielding only in frozen, stony chunks. They use broken animal bones as levers and their own powerful hands to claw at the earth. For 2 days. As the butchering continues, so does the digging. They work in shifts, their muscles burning, their hands raw. Some must stand guard, their firebrands held ready, as the scent of their prize saturates the valley. A siren call to every predator for miles. They are creating the first vault, a cache dug not from foresight of seasoned, but from the terror of a single, coming winter. It is an act of defiance against the natural order of rotten scavenging. Piece by piece, They hold the greatest portions of the kill, entire legs, slabs of ribs, the massive liver, and lower them into the cold, dark maw of their pit. They line it with hide and pack the meat in tight, a puzzle of flesh and bone. The very act feels sacred, a desperate prayer to a future they are trying to build with their own hands. But they are not alone in their reverence for this horde. On the third night, a new sound arrives, silencing the insects and the owls. It is not the growl of a cave lion or the bark of a wild dog. It is a chorus of whooping, cackling laughter that seems to bubble up from the cracked earth itself. The firelight catches the reflections first, dozens of pairs of eyes, burning like embers in the oppressive dark. Then the shapes emerge. They are impossibly large, monstrously built, Pachycrocottae breversities. The giant hyena, a beast the size of a grizzly bear with a thick, sloping neck and jaws forged for a single purpose, to crush the bones of megafauna into splinters. The matriarch leads them, a scarred and bloated behemoth whose sheer presence radiates malevolence. They do not charge. They are too intelligent for that. They simply form a perimeter, a living wall of teeth and hunger. Just beyond the reach of the thrown stones and the flickering firebrands, the siege has begun. A young male, emboldened by the fire, rushes forward with a flaming branch, screaming a challenge. The hyena, faster than anything that large should be, lanest from the line, its jaw snapped short inches from his face. The sound like a falling boulder. He stumbles back, his bravado shattered, saved only by the elder who yanks him back into the circle of firelight. The act of altruism is instinctual, a core component of their anthropology, a testament to the bonds that define these human ancestors. The laughter of the pack follows him, a chilling sound that promises a long, sleepless night. The clan huddles closer to the fire, the heat a fragile shield. They are now prisoners of their own success, guardians of a buried treasure, locked in a contest of patience and fear with the bone crusheress. Weeks bleed into a monotonous cycle of fear and hunger. The fire, their fragile shield, consumes wood at an insatiable rate. Foraging parties must venture farther each day, always under the baleful gaze of the hyena sentinels. The clan grows gaunt, their ribs a stark relief against their skin. The buried mountain of meat, their salvation, is now their prison. It is a bitter irony of their developing intellect. Their foresight has trapped them. The old matriarch of the Pachycrocottae pack is relentless. She watches the fire, watches the hominids, and she waits. She understands patience. She understands that fire dies and that flesh weakens. The clan's subsistence strategy must change, or they will starve to death guarding the feast. It is the elder, again, who sees the path. She watches the hyena matriarch, the gravitational center of the pack's hunger. Where she goes, the others follow. A new plan is communicated not in words, but in the precise, shared language of survival. A new kind of hunt is prepared. The target is not for meat, but for the future. The young male, the one who faltered, sees his chance. He meets the elder's gaze. A silent offering. He will be the law. This is the brutal calculus of community. The one who is a potential liability can become the instrument of salvation. It is a hard choice, a sacrifice given and accepted without ceremony. Under the thinnest sliver of a moon, the gambit begins. Two of the strongest hunters drag a great, reeking slab of mammoth fat and skin from the edge of the camp, leaving a deliberate, potent trail leading away from the precious cache towards a narrow ravine flanked by loose scree. They move like ghosts. Then, the young male takes a smaller piece. It sent a personal invitation to the matriarch. He breaks from the firelight, a fleeting shadow against the dark landscape. The matriarch rises, a low growl rumbling in her chest. She ignores the larger trail, her ancient predator's mind focusing on the immediate, moving prey. She follows, and with her, the six largest of her court, the rest of the clan, armed with heavy stones and sharpened branches. The best their lithic technology can offer, melt into the darkness of the ravine. They have become a part of the landscape, a trap of flesh and bone and desperation. The sound of the young male's panicked breathing, the thunder of the matriarch's heavy paws, grows closer. He scrambles into the ravine. Just as the trap is sprung from the slopes above, a rockside of heavy stones rains down, a chaotic, crushing barrage. The matriarch, stunned and enraged, is met by the desperate charge of the hunters. It is a maelstrom of fire and limbs, of shrieks and the wet crunch of bone. The young male, his dirty dumb, turns back to fight alongside his clan. His fear burned away, underplaced by a fierce, final purpose. This single, violent, emotional turning point will echo through their lineage. They fight not as individuals, but as a single, furious will to see the dawn. The siege is broken. The matriarch lies dead, and her scattered pack is a ghost on the horizon. But the victory is paid for in blood. The young male lies still, his redemption absolute. Others are wounded, their injuries a testament to the battle. As the first true light in months filters through the thinning clouds, they stand over their cache, their vault. They are not heroes. They are survivors, etched with the scars of their own ingenuity. This hole in the frozen earth is more than a simple food store. It is a monument to the most profound leap in the history of all hominids. It is the moment our ancestors stopped living solely in the present and began to invest in, to fight for, and to kill for the concept of tomorrow. This vault, born of desperation, is the seed of the granary, the city, the very idea of civilization. Every investment we make, every plan we lay for a future we cannot see, is an echo of this first, bloody defense. The entire architecture of our ambition, our hope, our human evolution, is built upon a foundation of buried meat and the memory of the bone-crusheress who came in the night. What is society, after all, but a promise made to the future, guarded against the darkness? We are the chroniclers. We do not look away from the cost of the light. But the deadliest predator is the one that learns to wait.